Okay, our next slide is our class promise. So we've been working hard on learning this. And it's just a way that we want to treat each other in our classroom and be respectful and just kind of how we want to behave. And so I wanted to give you a copy of that. That'll also be in the handout that I sent home. Next is a big goals list. So if you're kind of wondering what types of things that your child will be learning this year, and so here's just kind of a big list, um, and it's not a total list. It's just kind of the big ideas. This will also be in the handout that I'm going to send home with your child. So just some of the basic things that we're going to be doing this year. And the next page, which is on the back side, is some behavior goals. Again, how we want to treat each other and how do we want to solve if we have a problem in the classroom and things like that. K-5 report cards are different than the rest of the school. They're similar to 3-year-old and 4-year-old kindergarten, though. We do report cards in November and June, and they are narrative style report cards. So I'll write up a little summary about, there's a bunch of headings of different topics, and I'll write up a summary for you about how they're doing in the classroom. Also, I'm going to be sending different checklists home that I use. One of them will be in this packet, and it looks like this. It says report cards on it. It's just how it was created. It's not an official report card, but it's just another way that helps me to gauge where your child is at, and also for you to know some of the things that they've already mastered and some of the things that they're still working on, so that you could help them at home. So you'll see those periodically throughout the year in different areas. Excuse me. So math will be covering number sense, counting and recognizing numbers to 100. Shapes, we're going to be doing 2D and 3D shapes, patterns, and measurement. We'll be doing greater than or less than, adding and subtracting, sorting, teen numbers, counting on, and then skip counting. And I think it says down there by 2s, 5s, and 10s. So reading, make sure you're reading with your child and talking about the books, asking them questions and just to get them thinking about the books that they're reading. And the more language that your child is exposed to, the higher their understanding will be. In my classroom, I like to use the Daily 5, which consists of reading to ourselves. We won't be able to do buddy reading this year, unfortunately, but we will be doing listening to read on the computer, work on writing, and then number 5 is word work. Another handout that'll be in the packet is a writing rubric, and so you can check that out, and it's just kind of the stages that your child will go through when they're learning to write. And I just ask that if your child wants you to spell a word from them, I know it's hard not to just spell it for them, but I would rather have you help them sound it out. So if they wanted to spell cat, I know that might be kind of easy for some kids, but what do you hear? Write it down. Okay, you're here, see, write it down. And they're going to hear those beginning sounds first. Then they'll start to hear the ending sounds. And then those last sounds they'll hear will be the vowel sounds, which are more tricky for them. And then as time goes on, they'll just learn how to spell things more correctly. But in kindergarten, we do inventive spelling. Oops. There we go. So like I mentioned, for the listening to read, we'll be getting on the computer. We'll be listening to stories. Hopefully they'll be getting on every day. Sometimes the schedules might be a little hectic, but they should be getting on every day. We use the Bible app for kids to listen to different Bible stories. Starfall.com has some good things for us. And then Boom task cards, which are really neat. They're self-correcting activities that the kids, and it'll ding if it's right. And if not, then they'll have to go back and fix it. And if we do end up going virtual, those will be something I'll really be using too, where you'll be able to do it at home on any device, a tablet, a computer, a phone. So I will be sending out the information for how to log on to that for your child at home coming soon. So let's continue. Science,